Hello, and welcome to Steel Division 2. Today we've got a balance versus balance matchup on Gora. And balance versus balance is often much more interesting on Gora than Maverick versus Maverick. I would say the map definitely favors long, drawn-out games with how many choke points it has. But one of Colonel Koenig's favorite divisions here, 2nd Belinde versus 12th SS, Panzer Hitlerjugend. Immediately demonetized for saying that, you know, how it is. But ZnaT, very good player. I believe he was in league at some point, but being Russian left the Discord and is no longer partaking for now. Interesting to see the deployment up here so low as the units are just rushing in. These M8s just really driving forward as the flamethrower gets right on top of that P.O. and shuts it down. No other action so far. MG42 is going to be forced to fall back. No doubt going to be reinforcements here. And Colonel Koenig very much very good at the quick rush with M8 kind of gameplay. We do have an M10 coming in here, but this doesn't have APCR, so Panther D is still tough to deal with, I would say. Is going to try and smoke it off as one of these M5A1s goes down. But for the time being, those Shermans are still relatively dangerous. This flamethrower is going to try and get the second smoke off there. Does manage it. And the M4s do manage to escape. M10 now going to get in range of the Panther D, but is just going to keep moving. The 130 penetration should actually be enough at that range, but not necessarily a fight you want to take at the time being. Does have to be a little bit careful here. The Panther D does lose sight at the last second. And yeah, there's supports did make it in. Both of these go down individually to two shots, either from the M4 or the M8 here. Wow. And that'll completely let these supports just get into this medium cover and reign supreme here. The Flammenwerfers there, or the Sturmpioneers, would have been very, very dangerous indeed against supports, which only have TNT. Two have bazookas, though. So, still relatively good. M8 goes down. M5 doesn't manage to find the kill on the 233 just yet either, but pushing forward a Sherman or something like that would definitely be useful. MV42 also survived. 88 is firing at this 50 cal, which has managed to spin the Panzergrenadiers for now. And now the 81mm mortar is going to smoke off that Panther. Going to Koenig, no doubt, trying to create some kind of a push here to kill this Panther. And it's going to need to find a way to do it. I would have brought in potentially another M10 from this angle. And then once you're in this section, you can kind of side shot it. But it's still a very dangerous play to make with the Panther D, no doubt, having the 2K range advantage there. 2-star Shermans, though, brought up to 3-star by this command, M4A2, and the half-track Russian forward as well. If that had a Sapurs in it, this would be almost perfect, but not quite. M8 and the M5A1 are going to take advantage of the smoke here to potentially get on the side as the M10 gets up. Oop, this M8 should have kept rushing there, I do think. Oop, it's going to get the penetration, that M10. The command tank here is providing the veterancy. He's going to get the second shot off, and the Panther D does go down. Yeah, 15-9 now. Sounds like going to be pushing forward, though. Voltagers coming in to defend against that. As the M5A1 now pushes forward. These two units are also very much likely to go down here. This MG42, no chance against the flamethrower, that's for sure. Fusilier Marines also coming in, potentially for here. I'm not sure it's quite needed. The supporters do a fine job at providing that bazooka roll. Potentially would want some more medium to long range fire support, something like an M8 to protect against this. M4 did go down here, either this 88 or this Spielwagen. And there's no AT over here really to stop it. So 233 could be quite deadly. M8, second M8 is coming forward though, and I guess these are 2-star M8s, so Colonel Koenig might not have a lot of them in his deck here. Another 57mm coming in though. Dangerous having two of them. Flammenwerfer does manage to get for this flag, so stops the double take for now. But with the capture of this one, He's going to go back to that double tick, but that's not a flag. That's able to be held for very long. Still, important target. They're going down. That's a 4 as well. Advancing up here. Should be able to cut off this road, and they're going to pincer these units. Infantry can't really come in here either. Just cut off from the Flak 88. So to reinforce, you'd have to bring them all the way down here, which opened up to the Panzer IV. And these two flags are under no real pressure right now. With the 2 extra Sturmpioneers going down, though, I think with these 2 double-starred and these 2 double-starred going down in their transports, there's actually no more Sturmpioneers in Phase A as the M5A1 goes down here, which do make the Sapeurs together with the Le Flammes, with the M2 flamethrower, that's that much more dangerous. However, Sapeurs and Pioneers flamethrower is not going to be able to get involved in that, and the Focke-Wulf actually coming in to suppress just as these come in. Does pin down the Sapeurs as well, so a bit falsely timed there. The 500 kilogram bomb is definitely dangerous enough that you should be going behind the enemy units you intend to suppress rather than in front of them. More Sapeurs coming in as well. 2 more Pioneers coming in and try and contest this area. Certainly ZnaT likely knows that 2nd E Blinde has a critical lack of infantry. As we see AA now coming out as a counter pick, or as a counter call. Smoking off the center here to allow these supports to get in. And this 57mm is going to sneak right up. Potentially be very dangerous against those Panzer IVs and such. Looks like the other 57mm did manage to get advanced over here, so that's going to be definitely a thorn on the side of these 2 units, and the half-track healer is doing a good job protecting against that. Yeah, once again, firing well microed there against the 233, but almost had AP shells, funnily enough. More Voltigeurs coming in. Recon. Bofors hasn't unloaded yet, and that Bofors is unfortunately too far behind to actually stop Focke-Wulf bombers. They're just too quick, but 57 gets a lovely kill on the Panzer IV there. Black 36 also coming out as well. ZnaT definitely does want to get counter-bombed here, and this AA that much further up is going to be so much more effective. Mortar is going to come in, but there's 2 units against 3. Again, with the flamethrower here, it's kind of hard to say what happens, but the flamethrower is on low health, so it could potentially go down. And these units, they don't surrender anyway. If this mortar comes down before the engagement starts, that may be good, but this flamethrower might get involved a little bit too soon. You want the flamethrower engaging at the same time as the Sapeurs, so the Pioneer Hitlerjugend are unable to get their TNT on, while the Sapeurs definitely are, but that unit was on such low health that it just went down immediately. TNT from both units. Oh, this one's actually just a Panzergun idea. But Sapeurs do get grenaded. Panzergun idea also gets hit, but amazing retreat micro once again from ZnaT. Certainly knows his stuff. This Sapeur is pushing forward. Sapeur. Sappers. Sapeur. Or he's coming in. Bofors did move a little bit further forward. Not sure if that's enough to prevent Focke-Wulf bombers from bombing specifically this forest or this forest, but certainly will damage them, which means they can't be brought in as quickly. Still surprised to see no AT or anything coming in here, as these Panzerguns are going to unload and essentially march their way into this forest, with the 50 cal being suppressed by the 233 and the Flak 41. There should be no problem, and this town is quite in danger. Voltigeurs here forming kind of a second line of defense together with the M5A1, but still a relatively dangerous tactic there. Sapeurs going to duel against the Pioneers here. Ooh, and they actually got caught out in the medium cover, which isn't great, because the Pioneers do have the MG, but the Sapeurs did have the rifles, so that might not have been the worst fight in the world to take. Focke-Wulf bomber coming in for that, or the Voltigeurs here actually, and might actually just pin down the 12.7mm as well. Hit the youth Panzergun idea, forced to fall back. And as both these units get pinned down, these panzer guns are going to be able to push forward, no problem. Mortar comes down again. Quite suppressed, but Flamer and Sapurs versus the Pioneer. The Pioneer actually get their TNT off, and the Flamers go down, but now the TNT from the Sapurs goes down and just straight up kills that unit. 57mm does have to be a little bit careful here. Sapurs will need to move forward to prevent that from going down. There's actually two 57mm in this town, so not very effectively being screened by infantry here. Dual mortars as well. Gonna get pins on these Sapurs. There's just a ton of infantry here entering into phase B, is being poured in by Colonel Koenig. Yeah. Thompson, M1 carbines and M1 Garands. They're alright, these voltagers. Particularly because of this M1 carbine and these M1 Garands, but certainly lacking the MG. They do greatly lack that medium range fire. Panzer Grenadier as well, getting free shots on the flamethrower. As these 81mm mortars really start pounding some of this infantry. Supporters are going to be forced to fall back to the flamethrower. Doesn't have any way to deal with that. And these flamethrowers are going to get some lovely shots onto these Panzer Grenadiers, but unfortunately, 2 versus 1, even if they're not able to use their very, very deadly MG42s, as one did a Flamer. This one did get on target as well. M10 coming in, finally. This should have been here a lot sooner just to provide HE and fire support over this bridge. Now the 50 cal being the only thing here, and out in the open versus Panzergrenadiers. Does manage to pin him down, but it's going to be forced to fall back in the process. Lots of infantry here, though, and this flag, particularly these Shermans of this M5A1, should be able to influence this flag just fine. The Sturmpaniers here will be a little bit of a problem for this close-range infantry, because the voltagers themselves are not the most amazing in the world. 13 to 11 still. These two flags are firmly in control of Colonel Koenig for the time being, but the 257mm here are rather dangerous as more Sturmpaniers coming in. The second card of Sturmpaniers now, as well as a Wolfrahmen, and a Jagdpanzer 4 coming in. Jagdpanzer 4, no doubt, kind of try and kill off some of these Shermans. It's a great counter to Shermans for that reason, but the M10 is still around. There are two 57mm to be worried about, which can definitely kill the Jagdpanzer. But really, what I'd like to see is another Panther or something. Just sitting over here. And looking down that road, because you get some recon into the edge of this forest or so. And then you can utilize the 2K here, just looking down this road with a Panther or other heavier armor like that. And then you can ambush units that are trying to reinforce the road. And really, in a game about combined arms like this, cutting off the reinforcements of your opponent really does allow you to whittle them down more effectively. Which is why it's so important to look at the choke points that Eugen has so graciously given to you on this map and fight over them. M5A1 here should be able to take on the SPW. It hasn't turned its heat shells on, and there's another 2-star Sherman coming in, as well as the off map here. Might actually just off that in this position to get rid of it, but Wolfrahmen coming in here as the support still against the Sturmpaniers. One of the Sturmpaniers did go down, but now with the Wolfrahmen coming in. Oop, and it's going to hit well. It's going to pin down a lot of these units. The M10 might actually go down. It does, and that's a wonderful kill. He's actually only used half of it, the second half being used over here. The M4 is rushing forward to try and get away from that as the Sturmpaniers finish off the supporters down in the south. There's just voltagers here remaining now, and they're going to be no chance against the voltagers. Jagdpanzer 4 also gets the stealth bonus over the M2 or M4, and clean kill there. The M4 having no way to really hit that. M5A1 also goes down. Mortar is trying to fire at these, but they have advanced forward now. And this was actually re-aimed as well to get the second Sherman. And now all these units here, together with the Spähwagen covering for them, are going to do an excellent job at pushing this back, I would say. In the north, things are relatively in control of Colonel Koenig. 2 more Sturmpaniers coming in, though, and they were doing a number on some of this infantry from the looks of it. So, still very much a danger, but really the flag is slightly in the open. Like, you can't just park a Sherman here, and as long as you can cover over the forest, Panzer won't be able to range you, and you can still exert influence over the flag. Having said that, lots of SPWs and stuff coming in as we turn down south to watch the Sturmpanias do a number on these voltagers. Other voltagers definitely need to get involved, same with the supports. The command battery, not long for this world. These Sturmpanias managed to clean up these forests. Wolframen already aiming, even though it's just reloading right now. Off map. Doesn't look like it's gone down. And now there's just a bunch of tanks here with no cover, really. Or no view range on them. DB-73 does manage to get a bomber on this Panzer Grenadier, so this M5A1 will get away with its sneaky little tactic for a while longer, as that is pinned down quite heavily, but 88 doing a good job to almost force that off. Yeah, voltagers here, moving kind of in the wrong direction. The mortar fire is accurate, so Panzer IV does have to be a little bit careful. Would want to move. Is stressed down as well. One of the supporters do get their TNT off, and one of the Sturmpanias go down, but now there's a Pioneer here that's going to get on target on the leader down here, which is going to reduce the little veterancy that is on Colonel Koenig's favor. Command battery is going to fall back right away, but if it is enough to save that unit remains to be seen. One of the M5s did go down, but Panzer Grenadier spotted. 14-10 again. 14 minutes left on the clock. Well executed push so far, and these 57mm are actually doing a good job to kill off some tanks here. Ooh, one of the Panzer Grenadiers goes down. M10 does get on target. The second one, stuck aligning for very long. And it keeps aligning like that, man. That got its TNT off him, I'm pretty sure. Or at least it got a second T off somewhere. As the Sturmpanier almost finishes off that 57mm. Second Panzer gun goes down in the transport, though. And now the Panzer IV versus the M10, both having taken at least a penetration. Does get the kill there. Another Panzer IV coming out right away, though. And the Wolframen's going to clear up the rest of this infantry, allowing this infantry here, or allowing ZnaT's infantry to push forward. So, doing a fairly good job at cleaning this up. Question is, can he really maintain enough pressure for a counterattack here in Phase B? Panzer Grenadier does manage to finish this up, though. There's still a Sturmpanier down here, as well as a Flammenwerfer, though. Koenig has done a good job at maintaining control over these couple of flags here. This 57mm is definitely not long for the world with Sturmpanier advancing on it, though. And now with the flank covered, at least, you can think about start putting the Jagdpanzers 4 or Panzer IVs over here. Dual Focke-Wulfs coming in. The Panzer guns did do a number on this infantry here, and the medium cover and the Sturmpaniers did manage to push forward, but one Sturmpanier remaining, and two Focke-Wulfs there are going to force back that M5. No Beauforts up here in the north. Off map, moving down now. I think this hasn't used any charges. M10. Does have to aim for like a million years just because armor facing front and then the turret's so slow to move, so a bit out of position there to get shot on the Panzer IV. But still an M5A1, and the M5A1 at short range is deadly, though Panzer IVs do have 75mm of armor and not 70. M4A2 is forced back. The second flamethrower does go down to the support here, with the voltagers tanking for it. So well played there. 50 cal in, lots more infantry coming in. As the Panzer IV does get into position to kind of start transport sniping, so it's going to be forced to unload there. Bays does have perfect view range down this road, though, so he knows exactly what to expect. As a GMC Beaufort and a 40mm Beaufort come up now. The GMC Beaufort. Very much less ammo, I think, and mobile trucks, so like it is SPAA, I do suppose, but lacking armor, it's always a bit of a problem there. Oh, M4 though, is going to get a target out of the Panzer IV. The second shot for the M5A1 does manage to do a good job there at pushing those down. Voltager is now going to have to move into the Panzer Grenadier. Still 14 to 10. One of the M10s does go down, but the Panzer IV goes down to return. And now the Wolfram is going to be reloading for another couple of shots. Hasn't moved, but yeah. And now we see the excellent M4A3 76 millimeters coming in. They do have 100 millimeters of armor, which, well, versus German divisions, they're not that much of a big deal. These do a number on T-34s and medium armor, though. But yeah, German guns do have the penetration to get through it, especially at that medium range, where these would excel at, so they really are relying on their stabilizers. An excellent gun there. Oh. Ooh, transport goes down, and almost immediate pin down from this Panzergrenadier. The Panzergrenadiers do good against infantry in this kind of relatively open engagement here in the medium cover. Voltage's Meteor coming in, though, and these are 6 grand double M1919s, and the M1919 was buffed. I haven't seen it be too terribly effective, really, but I also haven't seen a lot of that. Oop. M10 failing to get a shot on target. These Panzergrenadiers are going to get into these buildings with their half-tracks. It's always the fun thing about Panzergrenadiers and half-tracks. You can't just run them through MG fire, really. Though, potentially still a bit risky to have the M10 firing like that. This Voltagers, though, definitely going to get pinned down. The command battery also getting pinned down. And now it's up to the M10 and the 50 cal here and the M4, of course, to really do some work. But multiple Pioneers also coming in. These infantry are all low health as the Wolfram fires onto the off map. And, oh man, that off map might actually go down from this, which would be disastrous. All 6 shells do fire, so off map pushed on, and now he's trying to move his tank away, but this can end up being right in the middle of it, and is just forced to fall back then. Ooh, M10 did get a shot in. Ooh. Might go down here, though. That's just 1 star. We'll get this quicker shot on the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV having no veterancy, but it is balanced again. And the 2 Focke-Wulfs coming in, just absolutely smacking that. Once again, no AA in the center here. Air Panzer IV is trying to move forward, but the M10s do have great aim time. Oop. Oop, and the 57mm. M10 does go down, but the off-map's coming in. 57mm is on target. Yeah. Ooh, but a bailout on the 76 from the Panzer IV there. Wow. Yeah, and the Bofors not enough to prevent that AA gun from firing. Bouncing on the M4A3 so far, as these tanks do a good job pinning these down. 12-12 though, so that has managed to balance it out with this push in the center here. And if you get a foothold here on one side, it can be quite the problem to push things out. Might actually consider investing in supply here if you can deal with that Panzer IV. Ooh, it's falling back now. But the M4 does struggle to penetrate at range. It is just a Panzer IV, though, so still a relatively high chance of penetration there. Wolfram really has done a lot of work, though. Balance versus balance, of course. You do run into the slight issue of having just a lot of income, so this is far from over, I would say. Mortars here being reloaded. Trying to get fire out of this again. And now the M4 is just rushing forward, trying to get into this location. Off-map did end up going down to something as it was falling back. I think there was a Panzer IV over here previously that did get that kill. As now we see the volunteers coming in. And now Colonel Koenig swears by these. But I think they just suck. And they're one of the reasons why I think this deck is really more suited to Maverick rather than Balance to play at. But he certainly likes it and is good at it with it. So having a lot of practice with it. Oh. M4 though, No chance in hell to penetrate a Panzer 4 there without just a ridiculously lucky shot. And all the pack guns have gone down to the Stone Pioneer here. Wolfhammond, once again, gotta be firing at this M4A3 like these to kill it, and this Vulture is also just about dead. So once again, gotta pin down the flank there. Canceled it just as the one shell was off. Dual Supers moving in. Might actually catch this 81mm mortar, and potentially these Pioneers as they are out in the open, but Second 76 is coming in, and the Logistique. It's the half-track supply. Very neat unit, actually. I do love armored supply in this game, though you do see it very rarely. I think 3rd Armored, this division, and maybe 20th Panzergrenadier has armored supply trucks. Though they have armored tank supply trucks that you can only bring in as transports for artillery and things like that. And they just have that little bit of armor that you can't shoot at them immediately and die. Or, for example, when you get counter-batteried, it doesn't immediately die. M476 now. Smoke did come down on these 2 units. Oops, supers aren't acting in concert, so bit of a problem there, as the M476 now is distracted, and that's relatively dangerous because there's 2 tanks here, which may be able to provide some good fire, and this Logistique truck is nowhere near this 76 to be able to run that back up. Volunteers only having the FN. Actually, now that I'm looking at the squad, that's a lot of M1 carbines, which would give it quite the DPS at that 300 meter range. That is, however, not 300 meters, and the FN is a garbage machine gun in this game, really. Unless you're using it on 15-point infantry, it's almost not worth bringing. They do manage to pin back one of these fuckers, but the other one does manage to get in. Any out of these troops. Potentially depends on you're gonna take advantage of that. The M4 did go down on this Panzer 4 in the north, so relatively even fight up there still. Logistique does get in, but having gone down, the what is it called? The Stug went down, and then the 76 went down. Oh, is this gonna get fixed up in time? It is. It might actually get a side shot here. Oh man, it does get the side shot, but the question is the penetration enough to shoot it the second time? And actually the smoke comes in and saves it. Wow. Excellent use of smoke there by Colonel Koenig. The second off-map coming in now. No doubt for this area again, as the M10 goes down to the Panzer IV. Ooh, M10's trying to get on the air pumps, but took forever to get on target. And the Panzer IV was already damaged, so this would not engagement. Second Wolfhammond, now, though. But it is going to miss it, as the M10. Ooh, 222, the up goes down. Oh, but the Wolfhammond shot does clip the M476. Unfortunate there. This Logistique half-track, a little too far away from the mortar, but can't really be stopped there. Yeah, this forest gets blasted, but M10's not even in the forest for now, so does manage to get away there. Oop. Oh, neither of those dropped their TNT, so this supporter is still going to be able to get quite the damage in for considering how many TNTs it's already dropped. But that's definitely going to go down. Having said that, there's only volunteers here. And they are, like I said, fairly good at this medium range engagement, which also makes them good at the close range engagement because they also have the automatic rifle, 3 Stens, and the M1 carbines. So lots of DPS in that regard, but Pioneers have HE, so. And these aren't vetted, so the accuracy is lowered. Like we see now, the Thompson and the carbines did do quite a bit of DPS, but it's going to be forced to fall back there. Off map coming down. Voltigeurs versus the Pioneer in the yellow cover there. Relatively fine engagement as the Spurs do get their TNT on. This one, down south, trading TNT from the looks of it. Ooh, 7mm here. That's the Pokemon comes in for that immediately. Yeah. Another GMC Bofors. Coming in to protect against that. I'm taking out and pinning down this infantry. Do have control over this flag still, surprisingly. One of the Pioneers did go down there. Voltigeurs did manage to clean that out. Mortar still providing good support, I would say. Off-map did come down. Nothing to really quite follow it up, though. But the off-map did kill that Panzer IV. There's the Panzer IV here. And a Bulbawagen, though. But we haven't seen a lot of air from Colonel Koenig, quite honestly. Still, ZnaT's game to lose. Or, it's not the right way to say that. Colonel Koenig's game to win, I think is the expression. Right, ZnaT has to make the comeback. And that's not yet, no. This half-track is a bit late to try and follow up an off-map, and the Panzer IV just gets that immediately. No problem there. Lots of zero-vet infantry. This is kind of how he does it. This division, critical lack of infantry, in my opinion. Only 5 cards or so. And if your only card of sea infantry is volunteers, well, you're kind of running into a problem there. Pioneers slowly cleaned up, though. Good micro here to keep them away. And these are cheap units, but the Wolfhamen kind of firing at this M10. The second Wolfhamen has actually gone down. And we finally see a Panther here. The smoke definitely providing good fire covering support for the M10. Does go down eventually. And Panther G has a lot more armor. And a Panther D, well, a lot more. 10mm more. As another off map. It's gonna come down here. Jagdpanzer 4, gonna get straight into that. But Koenig really has to hope that this Jagdpanzer 4 is somehow gonna get pinned down or killed. Oh, it does get killed. 155mm off map is deadly. Is that 105mm howitzer? And please don't run your 57mm into another stone pioneer. Oh, does get on target just fine though. Oh, this is gonna be firing at the Panther though, I would say. Or no, the Panzer IV did reveal itself first. Please don't switch targets. Oh, it's switching targets. Gosh darn it. Oop, does kill it. So Koenig did eventually manage to do that, but falling back. Stone Pioneer going to clear that up now. Triple DB-73s though, and the P-38. They're going to go straight for those tanks. And that is going to be some falling back tanks right there. Panther G goes down. M476 might be able to get shots on target onto that Panzer IV. Is rushing forward trying to do it. Does have a stabilizer, but inaccurate moving tank. Oh. It's finally put on the Q move and stopped just in time to get the accuracy for that shot there. Taking this flag back now too. I wonder what the... Well, I guess ZnaT has taken this flag down here. So still 12-12 for now. Focke-Wulf being forced off by the Bofors. Bofors finally being useful, as the half-track is now going to come in and surrender this MG. These two units here. There's nothing here to stop it for the time being, so this half-track could even potentially run up and start firing at the AA before the Panther would be able to kill it. No surrender on the hit. On the Pioneer, though, the infantry is fanatical in this division, which can come in on a lot more often than people realize, and I'm really surprised he hasn't like dedicated some AT down here just to cut off this freaking bridge. We did see an M10 earlier, but it's not quite enough, I don't think. 6 minutes remaining though. Oh, 1 tick on Gora. Quite the slogfest. Quite the slogfest. Yeah. wonder what killed that second wolf on. Until she got off-mapped. But I don't see its carcass anywhere. Yeah, lots of dead things over here. It's just a road to death. Panther G firing at the M476 and the M476 doesn't stand a chance in hell at penetrating that, so it's going to be forced to run away. No heavier AT guns either in this division to really engage Panther Gs, which is particularly why I'm surprised that ZnaT has taken so long to employ them. But on the other hand, Panther Gs are also not as good as Panther A's in my opinion. They're slower, and the APCR is nothing but a bit of a gimmick. It's okay at side-shotting IS-2s occasionally, but that very rarely happens. The ones are going to be now. It's going to be pushing right forward. Getting onto that flag. Duel. The 57mm and the M4, though, do manage to kill that in the transport. It has now a flood of MGs. ZnaT probably preferring to go with B-face MG42s. Try and clear up all this infantry. Panthers are doing a good job. Do shut down that M4. Yeah, and I'd almost like to see a Command Panther come out. There's some veterancy to these Panthers. Guess it's not really needed. But 2-star Panthers are a lot more effective than 1-star Panthers. And a lot of people don't seem to realize it, quite honestly. They bring in their Panthers in 1-star and they're surprised when they don't have the rate of fire to kill enemy tanks. If you are playing balanced, though, it's sometimes worth taking it without veterancy just for the sheer availability. You can crush your opponent just with the number of Panthers you get in that case. Both these getting pinned down, though. These Panthers are going to have to push forward, but it is dangerous. You got to kill. You got to, like, come around here and kill the M10 before you can get the... Or alternatively, around here and kill the Sherman, as they are both now firing. But, ooh, man, that accuracy. P-38's coming in. These do have great bombs. One of the Panthers do go down. F476 also gets away with it. Second Panther does survive, though. M5 half-track gonna come in, try and surrender these MGs, but this Panther is still very much alive. Oop. Can the M476 here, as the MGs get surrendered, pin down the Panther in time? No, doesn't look like it. Oh, and it's going to get one more shot off. Ooh, does manage to miss, though. Two more DB-73s. ZnaT is almost getting air spammed to death here. And after the first time Colonel kind of air spammed, I would have brought in like a elbow fender or something. Just to try and cut down a little bit on this. All these aircraft coming in. Panther G falling back again. There's a 57mm coming in, but does have to be aware of the Panzer IV here. The off-map card potentially can be just used as a mobile MG bunker now, having used more than all of its charges. 57mm is going to get on target to either the 250S1 or the Panzer IV. I think it does have range on that Panzer IV, so Panzer IV is going to go down. I mean, smoke coming down. But smoke's actually going to force these DBs and the P-38 off. This is almost like the American nuke bomb. Two 454 kilogram bombs. They are notoriously low resilience, though. So, bit annoying there. And the Panther does finish off the M476. The Wolfram actually going for it as well. Though, nothing quite in that area. Smoke coming in, trying to drop more infantry on here. 13 to 11. Might be the start of a comeback for ZnaT. But would I really cast a 40-minute game without going 2-speed? Yes. Yes, I would. I've casted an 80-minute game before. I suppose the 80-minute game, though, was... what's it called? at 2-speed, though, so it's a little bit of a different situation. But I like longer games. From a lot of players seem to passionately hate Gora, but I quite like it. This M476 is dangerously close to this town. All the Panzer Grenadiers has to do before is slightly move forward. Again, it depends on how on that. Though, stress that it is. Wouldn't be possible now. Actually, I might just use the rest of the supply to smoke off these volunteers for the rest of the game. These volunteers also coming forward for these Panzer Grenadiers. And these ones are gonna find that supply truck as the 2 Panzer Grenadiers coming in. 2-star Bovers does do a good job making that fucker wolf go away. This is a medium-star resiliency, though, so likely it's gonna get away. Mortars again on the Panther Ds. Both of them reloaded again. So no real movement up north. So the concentration of forces I would somewhat give to Colonel Koenig. There's just the issue here that there's no real way to deal with the armor besides the Fusilier Marines. So, not going to take the charge there. Voltigeurs do find this Pioneer, as these ones are now surrounded due to the short range between the forest and this unit. Another 2 M4s coming in. Not really the counter to Panthers, but what else do you have in this division, right? More airplanes coming in. Not only A up here. Might kill this Panzer IV. It is looking rather damaged. Lots of tanks in here. Wow. I didn't know Steel Division had that much of a shaky camera. Beautiful, beautiful cinematic shots in this game sometimes. This forced fall back though. My flag does go into Colonel Koenig's favor. He's getting close to the 20-minute mark here. Or the 50-minute mark, which would under normal circumstances be the game over, but or, well, not normal circumstances. Under league rules, be the game over, but not quite happening here. 2 more mortars coming out, though. Looks like they're going to be trying for the infantry in the town here in this movable wagon. I don't think this has radio over the movable wagon, so... Oh, but does get the kill! That must have been radio. Yeah, those shots are way too accurate to not be. Would be coming from this off-map vehicle, so... No, that was the perfect range to engage the Panzer Grenadiers at. What are you doing? Oh well. M10 versus Panther G. M10 did get a penetration here. But... Oop, does go down. Yeah, that's not what you want to see. Both of them moving forward as well. All these units are basically gone now. But DB's coming in. The Flak 41 does manage to point back the P-38, but now gets pinned down. And with the A opening up, it's back to a 13-11 with this flag here. Those are just MTR versus Panzer Grenadiers. I think ZnaT's just run out of CQC infantry, which is definitely something you've got to be aware of in this division. Especially Marines dangerously close to the Panzer IV. They are coming forward. And plenty of bazookas to take out all this line armor here. Supers coming in as well. Still, how do you still have half-track supers this late into the game? I wonder if there was a second card of it. M476s versus Panzer IVs. There are 2 of them. Oof, but they're shooting at the off-map vehicle for whatever reason. Maybe they don't see the other one. One of them does go down. Yikes. 57mm is trying to get the Panther, but likely not going to. And at least there's a crossfire set up here, so these Panthers cannot move much further forward. Well, it's doing good to follow those back. Panzer IV somehow dies Oh! Yeah, it was shitty at the off-map. So the off-map gets bailed out, but then for 76 does get a kill on the 6 Panzer IV. And now there's our units coming in here, including Panzer IV, trying to retake this flag, but it's a bit too late. And now, I think Colonel Koenig has just reached that critical mass where he's got enough units on the field. And ZnaT does have a couple of high-value targets, but they're just rushing forward now. B-38 coming in, no way up here. Free French half-track now. Gonna be dueling against a flamethrower. I'd actually pin that down as that gets to it, and then you've got spores with bazooka and TNT in the forest, which is well, I mean in the town, which is exactly where you want them to be. No, half-track actually fails to pin down the flamethrower, but still does a good job. 16-8 now, minute left on the clock. M4 pushing through. Not enough infantry left from ZnaT's side, which is not something that you see happen often. That the player with more infantry cards ends up getting last, but with the double tick almost completely settled here. Just one flag off. Now one flag does fall. Yeah, for 76 to go down to the Panzer. Or no, it's right there. Yeah, but the M4 is now still over here to get the kill on these Panzer Grenadiers. And the 57mm gets the loader wounded on that. Wolfhammond is going to try to kill that, but the DB73 is also going to fire on that. And actually, the 57mm gets the kill before the Wolfhammond can return and save it. So, 14-10. This game is pretty much over. Right down to the wire, to the last minute. 47 minutes here. ZnaT, not known to be the one that gives up this, or gives up early in any sense of the word. Ooh. Nuke bomber did miss. Did do a bit of damage though, so the M476 might just have the advantage on that Panzer IV. 15-9 again, though. A couple of these tanks have been slightly taken out. It looks like Colonel Koenig is running out of stuff just as much as ZnaT is. Support is still having done great work down here, and these half-tracks are just running wild. Does briefly get this flag. 16-8. M476 gets the kill on the Panzer IV. Wonderful work, these M476 this game. Just, yeah, lack of AA and other factors really led to ZnaT's downfall here. Unfortunate for him. Bukovov coming in, but the Bofer's still far enough forward to prevent that. And that's the game. Wow! 6,000 kills to 3,785. Colonel Koenig takes the win. A beautiful game on Gora here for you today. I do think so. And yeah. Great kills on the 76s. Off-map did a lot of work. This M4. Ooh, this one did a lot of work. That must have been that one in the corner there. 57mm as well. Getting Panther G. Nuke bomber getting the Panther. And just a lot of light medium armor here. Yeah. Panzer IV is not really paying off for the 12th SS players in that. Everything really just going up Colonel Koenig's way. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that little intermission from the league. I do enjoy casting some of the interesting games posted in the interesting games section of the Steel Division League Discord. So if you do have a game you'd like to show me, post it there and ping me or send it me over Discord. Well, thank you all for watching once again, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.